Name Lord with the what? What are you talking about? Trading Bitcoin. Can you not see this on the top of the chart? You're not related to this topic, so you can move on, bro. This is trading. Do something fun. This is nothing to fun about, brother. People make a living here. It's nothing to suck joy out of. I'm not mining the Bitcoin, I am trading the Bitcoin, brother. This is Bitcoin. Scalping and trading the Bitcoin. How many dollars do you have A lot. Nah. Why would I be on YouTube if I had $1 billion? Stupid. How many bitcoins did you drain? What do you mean by drain? Did I lost? I don't hold them for a long time. I just buy and sell them within week or two, week 2 or 3 or 2 days. So that's what is trading is about. Buying low, selling high, make a quick profit, and then I'm out. I don't care where the Bitcoin goes after that. Because I'm good at it, right? Good for you. Do you have a job? Very nice. I left my job like 3 years ago. Do this full time, so I did had a job, but it was not paying me this what I'm getting from this. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have skill like this, right? Why the hell did you leave and why are you selling the bitcoins? What? My job? I'm not selling Bitcoin. I was buying Bitcoin, and I was buying it from a very long time. So this was the area I bought from last week, right? I bought it from 62,000, sold it to 67,000, made a $5,000 profit in a week. So I don't see many jobs paying me like that. So you don't understand trading at all. So I don't blame you. I left my job because I wanted to make money, right? More money, more. Unfortunately, at that age, I was not interested in. I was not interested in studying it also at that specific age. So that train left without me. So I did what I can with what I had, right? I can be a psychologist, or I can be an economist. Thanks. Thank you. I already am, but I don't work for anyone. Okay, okay, buddy. See ya. Thanks for the positivity, bro. Nasdaq keeps falling again and again. It's down 121 points on the day. Nasdaq keeps falling, the gold keeps going up and up. Okay. This was the last week's buying zone for the gold. Okay. I mentioned on 8th of October, okay, have this on your chart, take a swing trade from this point and target the major highs. So what a what an absolute bottom caught right there. 120 points on gold and still going. Okay, DXY. Okay, so this was the breaking point of the dollar index downtrend, and we initiated an uptrend from this point. So the dollar is moving up, the Nasdaq is falling, the gold is rising, and the Bitcoin is just trading within the range. So I suspect that this might as well be a fake out overall. We haven't gotten a strong shakeout on the Bitcoin. We need a strong shakeout on Bitcoin, then we will leave for the trend. So I'm watching price how the price will react to these certain levels, but still I'm not that optimistic about the trend. It can still go up, but there's a high probability that it will shake a lot of people out before going up. So keep an eye on that. Okay. This was another buy zone I mentioned on this specific date was 15th of October. I mentioned no shorts above this box. Overall, we are in a higher time frame uptrend. So this was the first area to buy it from. Gave around 3000 more points from this point, and then it came back to this point again. So this is where we are now. So this was really perfect on this buy zone, specifically 15th October buy zone. This was the buy zone I mentioned on 15th October. It's all live. It was all live. So it came in, touched again, putting my stop loss below 3000 points. So that was nice. Came back to this point again, touched it again, and then we move further up. So as for the target, this is 68,121 was the target. Okay, so I'm expecting some of a bounce from this point. Once the price will reach to this point, I'm going to exit my trades and I will wait for the price to some give me some sort of a retracement or give me some sort of a buy signal for me to be interested in longs again. So just keep this in mind. This can be a potential support. So I'm watching this price now. We're very close to this price. 68,121. मेरे जाने पर तो आ बैठे हम लोग बड़े करीब हैं विजिट एंड 17 हेलो हेलो So 68,121 was my target. We are very close to this point. We can expect some sort of a bounce from this area. Okay. So I'm good, brother. How are you? How are you? How are you? Wizard. Let's You found a buy on gold. It's party time on gold, brother. Everything works in a trending market. Everything works in a trending market. That's nice. It's an overall uptrend, so you should get a buying opportunity, a lot more buying opportunities. Try not to sell that. So N17, you remember this point when I streamed on 15th of October and I exited my trade and I said okay, 0.3 is 0.3% of my original position is left. So this was the buying zone. We came back to the buying zone again. This was the initial move. Ooh. This was the initial move it gave. Yeah. When I said okay, if I start executing on every single trade, so it would be really messy. So this was the buying zone. We moved basically what 66,000 to 68,000. That was, and not only that, we came back, touched this point, and so keep an eye on this structure overall. Okay, I'm gonna move to the 4 hours time frame or the daily time frame on Bitcoin. You see this a major higher time frame bull flag. So I draw this line at that time, right? I said here I want this is completely irrelevant to the market. This is then my opinion, but I wanted the price to break up and not make a fake out. So as we are here, this can turn into a fake out because as it is the Bitcoin's personality to shake out a major shakeout before giving a good trend. So keep that in mind. It can turn out to be a shakeout. So I'm watching this price very closely, very, very closely. Okay. So have this on your chart now. 68,525 to 68,421.95. As long as we are still below this price, this can change a lot of things, a lot of things. So again, my opinion, I want the price to come above this point for me to be interested in longs again. So this is a scenario I'm creating here. If that happens, then I'm going to be interested. below this price, I'm not basically looking to go short, but generally speaking, the price, as I'm reading the tape, I can see the price moving down. Okay, so keep this in your mind. Okay, keep this in your mind. Unlock from say this point to this point, and this 68,121 can be a support. So there's that. The next one we talked about on. Okay, bro, you remember QQQs? I presented a level on QQQs. I hope you do remember. The level for 87.76. The Nasdaq level. This was on my previous streams. Last stream, basically. Okay. So, as I grow more, I add cryptocurrency and Bitcoin with your trade. Yes, a standard deviation is the model. Okay, so you remember this point. I'm going to move to the 5 minutes time frame, and when I said ki yaar, I didn't expected this whole move to occur, and we were somewhere around here. I mentioned ki yaar, on it was basically Tuesday or Wednesday. I said ki yaar, 487.72 is the level which I can see as a bottom. Okay, so I did not stream again for an update, but check this out. Like, damn, bro, so precise. One to it you know how many what risk to reward it gave. 1 to 16 risk to reward ratio, brother. It's fucking amazing. Yeah. So this was the exact level. Crazy, fucking crazy. And you always keep a track on where, like, this is how I keep track of time when I mentioned this, right? So this started from the 14th October last stream. Okay, and watch how I'm talking about this specific level. I exactly said with conviction that there, yeah, you can get a lot of chops, but this is a potential bottom. So this is where we at on the cues. And the DXY, this was the dollar index criteria. This is going to make or break the downtrend. If the price used this as support, it never used that as support, but it started moving up from that point, never came back to this point either, right? So I mentioned here I want the price to move below this point, but if we do not come to this point, then the whole trend will change. Then the whole trend will change. So we changed the whole trend. So this is important. We are in an uptrend on a dollar index. So just be vigilant about this. Okay, I mentioned here that the whole market will collapse, but I trade every instrument individually. So this is in my back of my mind that there may be a delay. Okay, there may be a delay, but even if they both rally together, because it's election year and we are very close to the election, so this is not normal time, so I cannot expect normal price action. What do I think about power of 3? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Regardless of you name PO3 or AMD, we are still trading the same chart. And what I've said you when I was telling you about the closing, right? I said probably I mentioned you this, Gear. If you go deep enough, you'll understand the things I'm talking about. If you unpack it with me or alone through backtesting, you realize that the things I'm talking about is a whole package, right? So, yeah, I'm going to mention you one thing. Okay, so if you move to the 4 hours time frame, what I said about the monthly volume, you remember that? Okay. So how am I using the monthly volume imbalance or any other volume imbalance? Volume, forget, or you can say the close. Why am I using the close? Close is the reference point for what you are referring to as PO3 or AMD. So you need reference points for the where, yeah. So if you the same data, if you interpret the same data differently, right? It's about interpretation. You're using that imbalances or the closing as a reference point for the PO3. You can use that as a PO3. Okay, and as an area of interest also. Okay, so this was the month, this Friday. Where did it start? You understand my point or not? Okay, so let's suppose where did the month? So this is where the month started. Okay, we started the month, created that reference point or the previous month's close. We moved back down. Then in the middle of the month, we came back to this point. Use that as the same area of interest and the power of 3, and there we go. So I also mentioned you one thing. When you are doing backtest, you should remove all the vocabulary because it creates more hindrance. You should not use words, assign words to something or concepts. Just look at the things for what they are. So it's basically a candle formation, right? You can understand that concept through PO3 or any other thing, but it's basically the close pricing, an interpretation of the close pricing. Okay, so we see this, that PO3 level or some previous month was used as a reference point again here. Okay, move, this was the reference point for the month because uh, the price is using time as a reference. Okay, you understand this philosophy, or the price is distributed across time. So if the price wants to know where it was, it can use a shortcut through time. So just take a reference of, we never went above third or the start of the month, so it moves above that start of the month. So everybody who entered at the start of the month was knocked out. So it was using this as a reference point again. So see this point. So it can be used in a multiple different ways. Okay, multiple different ways. So every candle when it opens move to the wrong direction, then to the right direction, which is this point, right? In this point. Let's suppose we are on a 4 hours time frame. If you want to know what's happening on a smaller time frame, you can look at it. It moved to this point. Within 4 hours, it closed. Then it rallied to this point. It closed here. The next open, it rallied. We came back down from this counter rally to came back down. Look at this from. We moved up, closed here, rallied. So the cross would be rallied. The cross rally. The cross rally. The cross rally. The Hope you understand the point. So what is referred to that as cross can be understood by the or the AMD, but in it of itself it should be prioritized. I notice how ICT traders love using it with standard deviations. Standard deviations is basically risk to reward relative to the time frame of the trader. Someone is trading the 4 hours time, it's standard deviation on a one risk to reward because the 4 hours time. What is the average ATR? For example, 75 points is the average ATR. So an average stop would be about 50 points. Okay, so to make 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio, the 4 hours, so the 4 hour standard deviation works 1 to 1 in it of itself. The 1 minute has its own standard deviation, so risk to reward is completely tied to the standard deviations. If you look at it from this way, it will make sense for you. Risk to reward means basically KR, if I were to sell it here, where would my stop loss obvious stop would be? मतलब obvious stop, not the specific one. Above the resistance, let's say. Okay. Let's say if I were to sell it here, my stop would be 169 points. So is am I expecting for the price to move further 169 points? So the people who are buying it here, are they getting a good risk to reward or the risk to reward is skewed? So majority of the time the market tries to skew the risk to reward ratio. It will try to give you 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio, but if you move to the extreme, it harder it gets, right? So that's why standard deviation works, because it's just risk to reward ratio. Keep it simple. Okay, brother, like check this out. Yeah, fuck, have this on your chart. This was the second entry, the swing trade of 116 points. I did not take it, just to be very clear. I took some of it, but I'm not interested in gold at all. I don't trade gold. I don't like gold. So it's a trending market, so it's a party time for everyone. Once the trend will end, everyone who is making money, majority of will lose this because it's easy. It's a trending market. So were you trading in 2021, 22, or 23? Were you trading gold 2021, 22, 2023? Suppose not. If you were trading gold within this, okay, if you were trading gold within this period, you will empathize with me because I like trending markets. Generally speaking, I like trending markets. Gold has a huge width. A width is something that the market prepare itself and makes a base. So gold, since it's a commodity, it's a very slow moving market, and its width is very like it's ugly. It has a huge width to it. Now it is very thin. You see, now it's acting like all Nasdaq like, but since it's a trending market, right? But usually its width is too much, too fucking much. Like, what is this? Yes, it still can, it's tradable, but not. It's the opportunity cost because I can trade Bitcoin, I can trade Nasdaq and everything, but gold is ugly, generally ugly. Only what is this? Ugly. So You know, silver. Oh God. Oh, ugh. Who the bro, I hate silver more than you. I'm 100% sure. You know, silver was supposed to do something. SIL for okay. You see this point. I'm going to explain something to you. I hope you understand. But you see this point, the move we are watching right now, it was supposed to happen in motherfucking July. So all this is garbage. Because when you get to the bottom of these things, you'll understand what is supposed to happen, what is not supposed to happen. But the market is what it is, right? I cannot fight against them. So this was on June or July. I was expecting the silver once it broke 30, right, to move up to this. And it's just to be clear, I am not trading silver, but it is in a very strong uptrend according to its own way, right? It's going to move further up. And let me just check where the silver target was. Yeah, 35. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna mark it now and I'm gonna forget about it. Okay. It is supposed to reach 35.640. 35. 37.499. 37. Okay. 499. 499. So it is supposed to reach these 2 points, and it may take a gazillion years to reach that point. So nah, I mean, not interested. Okay. मेरे शाने पर सर रखे तू You backtested silver. Once you get, how many months have you started backtesting? Like 2 months? 2 months, I guess, right? 2 months, 1 month. Like religiously backtesting. 1 2 months. Once you get to the 8 month or 12 months mark, uh, okay, that's fine. Your speed is good, right? So basically, you want a screen time. You want to accelerate your screen time to minimum of 5,000 hours, right? So 5,000 hours, 5,000 hours, that can be 8 months to 8 months to a year or 12 months, right? 10 months from now, I'll tell you 1 2 things, then you'll understand. So why some strategies work at one place and don't work at the other place, there's a very simple answer to this point, but it's too simple that overlooked by everyone else. So I want you to accumulate as much data in your mental model as you can, then you can sort or make connections within that data. If I point something out, you'll make a connection. But as for now, you don't know what you don't know, so ain't gonna work now. This Nifty, US 100, and Bitcoin. Lol, some told me some pairs natal charts. एक minute. Is this that natal chart which you're a natal chart or not? Are you talking about astrology? Don't tell me you're talking about astrology's natal chart. Oh, no, it's not that, yeah. No, come on. Just this is what I've learned, like even in life, like if you do the right things will happen to you. Regardless of if you are a thief, if you have a bad character, if you are of any religion, if you believe in God, no God, if you just do the right things will happen to you. So I told you you have an esoteric mind. Okay, since you know about astrology, this is an off topic. I suspect you know about numerology also. Even I don't argue with people. Yes, I agree with your focus on matter. Universal and becoming profitable. Yeah. Okay. Are you a seven? Just a random guess. Motherfucker. Are you a seven? Like life path seven? I know it's double seven, but just what is your LP life path, right? Fuck. I understand. I understand. See how precise my guess was. And yeah, nobody understands. At this point, I'm just gonna be quiet and I'll assume you'll understand a lot of things. So, I'm a 7. And the things I've seen are like, my god, yeah, it's a difficult life. Damn, bro. I've never met a 7 in my whole life. I was like, yeah, people around me are like 5, 6, 7. Because this is the most accurate thing I've seen. Numerology is like simple and it's most accurate thing I've ever seen in terms of predictive power. So, yeah, damn, bro. No shit, you're interested in GAN and astrology. Oh, hey man, you're gonna be an hindrance to yourself if you keep looking, right? From now on, I'm just gonna say some random shit and I'll assume you'll understand. If that works. Exactly. Exactly. Even if I'm quiet, I'll understand you. I'll think you understand what I'm thinking. But you have to be very careful with this number because it's not good financially. Okay? Yeah, yeah. So, you know, what was the thing helped me the most, right? Being a 7, right? Like being completely objective. Okay, it's hard to train your brain to be completely objective, but you need to integrate that part within yourself, otherwise it can mess you up. Yeah, that's why I used to say, okay, if I listen to someone, I'll know what he's thinking, what he's talking about, what he didn't said. So it's basically a superpower. Yes. So the things I've seen once I got lost in that world, like the world of subjectivity. The world of subjectivity and the world objective world are completely different. Like a whole different universe. So like I have, how can I say this? But not really astral, but as a whole, if you categorize those things, the objective world, the physical world, right? मेरे शाने पर the mind, the world of the mind, or you can say the world of the unseen, right? So literally, I've brought myself back to sanity a million times, right? I've gone insane multiple times. Not psychiatric insane, but you understand, right? The weird shit I've experienced because of it. Yes. Yeah, chaos theory, chaos basically it's whatever you say, the most accurate symbol for that representation as a whole is yin and yang. So I know a lot of cringe people use this same symbol, but regardless, it still holds the meaning. It's very true. No, the yin and yang is the polarity of the order in the chaos, right? From the chaos, order emerges, and from the order, it disintegrates into the chaos again. It can be interpreted as that. The polarity is basically the duality we use as a whole, categorize everything as a whole in yin and yang. So it can be interpreted in a multiple different ways. That's a symbolic representation of basically everything. The circle. Okay. This. Okay. This is the circle, right? And within that circle, we will have a. We will have an S, right? That S is the sine wave. Okay, the S between these two circles is the sine wave, and then you'll have another circle within the order and the chaos, the order and the chaos. So within then some order there's chaos, and within some chaos there's an order. So that's why it goes back and forth, back and forth. So that's, but it's important to understand that everything is held within that circle. So, no. I just getting started, bro. For the first time, I've met a seven in my life. So, listen. Okay. So, okay, you see this point. So, everything is contained within this circle. Okay. So, if you zoom out a circle, it becomes a single point, a dot, a something that emerged out of nothing. For me, I was interested in it. I stared when I heard a voice saying, "You're almost ready, stop, meditate." Yes, I agree. I agree with you. Completely agree with you. I have philosophized about life for a million years. Ah, I hope you understand the reference a million years, because once you start to think, your time dilates. Your time is different from the other person. So if you think and think and think and think, so I also stopped paying attention to a lot of things because I put a filter on in my mind about a relevance, which I use in trading. The relevancy. What is relevant to me at this point in my life, as I'm basically 26. So, family, my job, my income, and the things you are supposed to do, right? So these are the things which are relevant. Other things, I don't disagree with a lot of things. I do believe everything exists. Ha, exactly. I don't exactly. I have a lot of things in my mind, but I don't initiate a conversation about these things because a lot of people don't understand, nor do they care, because it's by default not relevant for them. It's relevant for me because I this is how my mind is built. So I try to make it irrelevant because it is irrelevant as I am in this age. You're 26, nice. That's nice. But you know what? The thing you're saying, yeah, you're ready or anything. This was the same thing for me. I from my 18th, from the age I was 18 till I was 24. Okay, these 6 years were really intense, really intense. So then I stopped. But a lot of things that I learned in that period, I'm using is till now, like till now, and I exactly know why I learned the things I learned. A majority of things came to me. I like it's like that. I used to put things aside and can I give you something? Uh, don't need to. I don't mean to turn you down, but can you leave, Gan? For God's sake, man. Yes, get to know about it, but there is no edge in that, right? Lol, why? Because I'm saying and I was seven, isn't this enough? How many times I have told you things which were completely incorrect. I might be somewhere wrong, but majority of the time I'm right, right? That's why I continue to put you in the right direction, because just leave GAN. What is GAN? Other than a fib word, other than a standard deviation of fib in a squared box. What is that other than that? You tell me. From the start, I said, Kya, you have an esoteric mind, because I recognize, Kya, you will be messing with those areas of. Well, from the very start, you started a conversation. I did I not said that you have an esoteric mind or not? I did said that from the very first stream, right? When you joined. So I knew you were gonna go into GAN and these things, right? Fib circle, fib spirals, fib speed, fib wedge, fib GAN. No, brother, you need risk to reward ratios, yeah. Everything is risk to reward ratio. If you can execute on a good support and resistance, if you can execute on a good support and resistance, that's all you need. If you're trying to study GAN just to, you know, just in it for the money, right? Don't get, uh, because you, in a sense, in, he said it's straight, don't study if you're not profitable. Oh, forget about GAN, yeah. As a whole, just look at it, bro. I mean, how can I explain it to you? For example, if I'm gonna try to explain you in a thing, if I take a screenshot of this area, okay, if I take a screenshot of this specific price from one area, from any area to another, and I take a month's worth of screenshots, okay, and I'll have a screenshot, one screenshot, second screenshot, third screenshot, fourth, so I'll like scroll, okay. So then what I do, okay, this is an imaginary thing. What if I started looking at the screenshot for what it is? Okay, so this will be the first screenshot. My mind will try to integrate the information without using any of its own tools, because it do not know what's gonna happen, so it's just gonna adapt to what it is. Okay, you look at it one time, you look at it three times, four times, five. So in on the weekend, or you have screenshots which is fixed, which do not changes. So you look at one screenshot, then you another screenshot, another screenshot, then another screen. It can be any time. So what your mind is going to do, it's gonna make a mental model of the market, and it will know what is normal, what is not normal. Then you can use your intuition. Intuition comes as a base mental model, which basically we have two systems, right? System 1 and system 2, the conscious mind, and that mind which the conscious mind has developed as a model, and it has taken a back seat. So when you're looking at the screenshot, your system 2 will be operating. You'll be paying attention to everything. Once you make a mental model of that in your mind, you can take a back seat and know what's normal and what's not normal. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Just look at it. You don't need GAN. Okay? In one of GAN's books. Oh, come on, yeah. I know you, whenever you come to me with some sort of a new thing, I shun you down, but I don't like it, but I'm just trying to carve a like straight way for you. I have studied everything about GAN, so bro, 8 years is a long time, long time. I've been doing this 8 years. I know a lot of things which I don't trade. So discarded a lot of things along the way which wasted. Yes, I mean personally I hear things but I don't take it too hard anymore. Okay, you have a tool for backtesting and validation. So go ahead, learn as much as you can about GAN, but keep in mind the essence of trading is risk to reward. Just keep that in mind. I haven't met a single person who is trading GAN and is profitable. one thing I'm gonna, if you learn to be profitable through using GANs tools, through using GANs tools, once you get profitable, you throw out the GANs tools. The statement is heavy. Once you learn to execute on even on GAN tools, you will throw the GAN tools itself, because the execution is the part you were trying to learn, but through the lens of GAN tools, you were willing to go through it. GAN. And you keep reading. Just, I mean, throw it out, man. Throw. You don't need GAN. Just in it of itself, you don't need GAN. In it of itself, completely. You want to categorize your trades into swing longs, swing shorts. Okay. Day trade longs, day trade shorts. The day trades can contradict with the swing trades, but priority will be given to the swing longs or the swing short narrative. If you figure this out, then learn to execute. I'm telling you the shortest way possible. Okay, you don't need to draw a box. You don't need to take the high or low, because if you are taking the high and the low as a whole, listen, if you don't, just think about it, like clear your mind and think about it. If I'm taking the high and the low, so I have the 0% and the 100%, then the middle would be the 50%. Okay, middle would be the 50%, so I have the complete range. So if you zoom in on it, then you can move to the 60 point, yes, 80%, yeah. That is irrelevant relative to the risk to reward ratio. So as a whole, you have the whole range, or whatever you're plotting your GAN on. So if you're plotting it from here to here, so whether you're executing here or in the middle of the range, it doesn't really make any difference. So what is GAN other than that? This is a GAN box, right? So if I'm taking a whole, for example, if I'm taking this whole range, this is giving me the time axis, this is giving me the price axis, along with the 50%, 30%, 25%, 70%. Is this necessary? No, because I have the whole range, the 50%. If I'm taking a risk from the 50%, my reward would be at least 1 to 1, and my stop would be above the range. So these specific details are not an edge. Just keep this in mind. So the one using planetary cycles, I am out, bro. I give up. I give up, bro. You are way too deep in the world of thought. You're gonna drag me along with you. I know you're not arguing, but I know, I know. You know how many it took me a lot of time, and throughout that time I was silent, like physically silent. Yeah. So said, okay, okay, sure, sure, sure. That's nice. You can backtest everything. That's not, you can backtest GAN, but just The moment you understand it's not that worth, just discard it. Don't waste more time. If it obviously does not work, it does not work. If something works, it will exactly tell you it. If it's obvious, it's going to be obvious. If it's something is working, it's gonna tell you it's working, and you'll have an edge, right? If you just keep looking at it because of whatever reason, because as a seven, by default we have a research mind, so it gives a lot of joy researching stuff and finding out stuff, finding out puzzles and and all of that shit. So in it for the money, not for the psychological entertainment. As I mastermind do little more, hence why I asked about PO3. PO3 is your model. You're still using PO3 regardless, because you, for example, if this candle open, PO3 is everything. Not everything in a sense. PO3, what you are referring to is basically we have 3 seconds, right? The moment this candle will close, have see what happens, right? It left no wick towards the downside. It moved to this direction, then it's going to come back to this direction which it came. So both directions, the P of 3, power of 3. So price is using this as a reference point. Okay, we have 44 seconds. Look how the next candle is going to open. Even on seconds chart, it moves to the wrong direction then to the right direction, so it moves further up and up and up and up on the higher time frame and uses this same criteria because the market is built like this. Within the next 27 seconds or 25 seconds, watch how the next candle will open, move to the one direction then to the other direction, and leave a wick. Okay, within the next 4 seconds. Okay, watch this. This is PO3. This candle closed here. The next candle open, move to the even bit slightly towards the upside, then towards the downside. So upside, downside, upside. So within that, what is the most reference, or what is the most important level in this all of this is the previous close, because it's moving up and down, but using this as a reference point, close as a reference point. So PO3 is by default, you still have it in your model, whether you are aware it of it or not, you're still trading PO3. This happens in every time frame. So basically, if we have 10 minutes till the 15 minutes close, so when the 15 minutes close, it moved to from this point to that point. There's a counter trend move towards the upside. The 15 minutes close, it moved up, wrong direction, then to the right direction. Then the next 15 minutes closed to this point, opened slightly gap, but I will argue that this gap is due to data differences. There should not be a gap, so I'm using this as a whole. Okay, wrong direction, right direction, wrong direction, right direction, it keeps going on and on and on. Okay, so this candle has no wick toward the downside, it moved slightly, like as it the previous candle closed, it opened, moved towards the upside. So this one candle is rare. Majority of the time, if you have this sort of a move on the Nasdaq, even after 30 minutes the price will come back to this point and refer back to this point which has no wick. So every candle has a wick. Yes, so I guess for 7 to excel, yeah, for a 7 to excel, they not to focus on back testing a reversal or trend, destroying the carving, learn more to यस यार, इस तरह से है कि बेसिकली एज अ सेवन वी आर रिसर्चर्स, लाइक डीप डीप रिसर्चर्स. Okay, I can read. If I am first, I have to be interested. Even if I'm not interested, I can make myself interested in anything, right? If I start a research about anything, about literally anything, I can go on for years without getting bored. So uh, you need something to be completely objective. That's the whole point of uh, basically, you are good at research, I'm going to tell you this, but the trading part is you have to be objective. That's as a hindrance. Okay, so you have to first do an extremely good research. When the time comes, you have to train your mind to be completely objective and trade what you see, and you will see what you have researched on, not what you think. Okay, plus as a seven you have a tendency to outsmart your own self. As an intelligence, it has a tendency to contradict our own self, to get ahead of our own self or our own system. So integration is really important. Integration is really important. And one more thing, I hope you understand this as a seven, that learn to integrate time. If you understand this single word what I said, it's a simple word, but if you understand to if you learn to integrate time, because you can and you cannot, you can completely fuck up, but if you focus on this, you can just, it will be nothing for you. If you learn to integrate time as a concept, as a time, no, don't go into time cycles, please. I'm not talking about that time. Okay, just as a type, because backtesting will give you, like, I can trade 4 years worth of data in 2 years, 2 hours. You need to integrate time. If you integrate time, basically you are ahead of 92% of the people. Time integration with your because your mind cannot adapt to, because if I'm gonna just give you a hint about this. Emotions have no time. Okay, emotions, when you are in emotion, there is no time. Okay, it can be infinity, because there is no time in emotions. Okay, uh, the mental clock is beyond your emotions. So you need to integrate time perception according to the market. If you understand this, I'm trying very hard to understand it, trying to understand you through words, because I understand it to very depth. It's my effort to hint towards something. If you understand this, you're basically profitable and basically ahead of everyone else, like me, basically. If you understand time, not in sense of candle closing, not in sense of any other thing, and not this time exists, but as a time. Okay, are you getting what I'm trying to say? Well, yes, it's okay. If you feel what I'm trying to say, you'll guide yourself through it. I needed it just to ingrain. Well, that's just to give you a hint. Whether you forget it that I said it, but hear me. When the time comes, you'll understand time. Basically, you need to integrate time perception of the market according to your mind whenever you're backtesting. No, basically understanding time, how long it takes, what is the time it takes, what are you backtesting. If you're backtesting 4 years worth of data, when the time comes to execute, execution is different from backtesting. Because what is the difference between the backtesting and now is the time dilation. Okay, I can backtest 4 years worth of data within 2 hours, but it takes 4 years to complete 4 years. Okay, once you can hold a single thought for more than 3 4 months, you are ahead of everyone. Can you hold a thought? Because if your thoughts are linked to your emotions, they are basically, in a sense, generally speaking, they are non-linear. Okay, because I cannot predict how I am going to feel within the next 4 hours. So as a base, my emotions should not be in axiom for my trading, or it should have nothing to do with my trading. Okay, so I should understand that it takes 4 years to complete 4 years, and if the trend lasts for about 3 days, it means completely 3 days, because living 3 days is completely different from backtesting 3 days. Okay, so once you integrate your time, then you backtest, then integrate your time. Okay, it took me. This is all simple. Okay, this is all simple when I say it, but to practice this, your mind will change. Majority of the people, as a normal, who are not traders, will not, because as I the longer I traded, I realized that a lot of things changes in your mind, like physically changes in your mind. uh I use the break even technique to factor that. Well, just keep this in mind. You'll have a lot of different ways to integrate the same thing I'm talking about. The things, yeah, I was saying that the things in your mind will change as a physically change. If you just if somehow I can see, like if you put a machine before and after, you'll see a physical difference. It's changing because your mind starts to think in a completely different way. That's a lot of languages use a lot of languages, because if you study the languages, a lot of languages have a word for the day, the 2 days before and 3 days after, 2 days after and 3 days after, before and after. Like tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and the day after. So a lot of languages don't even have a word for like 10 days or 20 days, 20 days from now, or 20 days back. Okay, so by default we have evolved to be like this. So in this era we have to think about a lot of things, we have to plan way ahead. So it's so simple, but if your mind does not think like that, Your mind does not think like that. It's like having a machine encoded into your mind which you make and then let it run. The conscious part of your mind will make it consciously. Then it will take a back seat while being generally aware of what's going on until something goes wrong, and then it will come back to rearrange everything. So, if you integrate time perception while back testing, bro, game over. Like, really. Okay, so what is this? 6 3, yeah. What is Nasdaq doing? Nasdaq is recovering nice. Visit, listen, you know about J. Krishnamurti. Yes. Your answer to yes is yes. Yes. Watchfulness. The guy is completely objective. Completely objective. He's an extremely good mental model. You've heard about him but never listened to him. Just forget about what I said about everything about meditation and everything. Because once you get involved into those things, you get lost. So, but generally speaking, his objectivity was the thing. Is I've learned objectivity from him. Okay, boys, it's my time to go. Visit. If you want to ask me something about any chart, you can ask me now. Then I'll leave. I don't know when I'm gonna come back. GJ, okay, I'll tell you, GJ. Okay, so I was one thing I left. I was saying, being a seven, it can completely destroy you financially. So there's a plug, then not the butt plug, but a simple plug of objectivity you can use as a hedge against your own cognition. So being objective will really help you. That's why I repeat the same thing for you again, that objectivity, because otherwise being a 7 is not good for money. Not because of luck and anything, because how our mind works, right? Okay, GJ, GVP, JPY. Yeah, I haven't traded GJ for a long time. So GJ, right? Just a minute. GJ. Okay, GJ, GBP. Since I am not trading this I'm not even trading this at all, so I'm just gonna tell you a higher time frame narrative. I do not want the price to move below 193, 193,080, 192, 980, 980. Wait, what? 192, 980. Yep. Okay. And it should use this as support. Then use 193, 732, 193, 732 to 190. 190 to 995. 192. Okay. Let's mark this green. You see this point, okay? The last portion, it should not go below this point overall. Okay, you can draw this box. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. The price should use this box as support in the higher time frame and move further up. If we move below this box, then I'm not gonna do anything until it recovers from this point or stay below this box for some time. So did it make sense? No. If you want to try to swing short this, okay, if you want to try a swing short from this point, you can try a swing short. Once we move below this point, then retest this point, then you can take a swing short hoping that we not reach above this box. Get it? So, na. Oh, bro, don't short it. No. Scary short. I at least know there are sevens that are successful in trading. Okay, you know other sevens. Let's let's make a seven union. Or you're talking about me. Don't tell me you are in short. Look, come on. Haha, I this seven has died a million times, so no one exists. No one is talking to you. There ain't no seven here. I was a seven. That's a nice way to put it. I've overall it's no swing. I'm talking about in terms of swings, bro. So try not to take a swing short, okay, on GJ until it moves below that point which I mentioned. GBP, JPY. Nah. The more I look at it, the more I say, okay, nah, I would not short it. At least if you, oh, come on. Okay, let's try what your GAN says about this chart. See this? Ooh. Okay. Even the GAN is saying we are moving up. Jokes. Okay, bro. If we move below this point, okay, now you tell me how many people are willing for the price to move below this point than to take a short? 1% of people. Everyone wanna take a trade right from this point. Almighty GAN खुद तो मर गया पीछे ये सब छोड़ गया. So just have this on your chart. I might come back maybe after 1 month or 2 weeks. I'll come back and say, you look, this is what happens from this point. So keep a reference point of this chart. If I were to day trade it, I'm generally thinking in a higher time frame long. So no shorts at all at this point. If we come below 193 as a whole, then I can think about shorting this. Okay, so in within this hourly range, you're still within the top of the range if you take this high and this low, because we are operating within this range. So why would you take a short when we are at the top of the range and we are touching the high? So we can knock you out easily. My battery is 5%. Alright, boys. Like the video, subscribe.